Hi, I'm Dr. Shannon Ferguson and this is Move It or Lose It, and today we're going to be talking about stretching for frozen shoulder. Frozen shoulder is a disorder that we don't really quite understand, where the capsule of the shoulder starts to shrink. And basically what happens is that the range of motion of the shoulder is much decreased. Usually it's a self-limiting condition, but 2 years is a really long time to wait. So there's lots of things that you can do at home to really help this. Okay, to begin, we are going with forward flexion. So in the anterior plane, going as high up as you can. Obviously, I can go all the way up. If you can't, just go as far as you can. Don't push it to where it hurts, just go to your end range. And now we're doing posterior. So I'm doing each about 5 times. Again, go to where you can go, it shouldn't hurt. And now I'm going through all the way anterior and then all the way posterior. So if this is all you can do, then that's great. Just do your range of motion. So then we're going to do lateral. So go all the way lateral as far as you can. I can go pretty high, but if you can't, that's all right. And there's my dog. He's forgotten that he's eaten breakfast. He's very old. So if that's all the range of motion you can do, that's great. So you can go here if you'd like. So now we're going to open the door. So this is external rotation, and do this 5 times. So bend your elbow at a 90-degree angle and then open it to the side. And now we're doing internal rotation, so closing the door. So elbow at a 90-degree and coming in toward your stomach. And I do encourage you to repeat this on your other arm, because then at least you have a comparison. And this is the same thing, so external and internal rotation, but just with the arm up. So if you can do this, great. If you can't, just skip it. So now we're going to do the stretches. So this is a delt stretch. So I have my palm facing behind me and bringing the arm across the chest. Stretches should be a gentle discomfort. It should not be painful. So go as far as you can go. You can also change the stretch to a little bit more posterior by facing your palm to the floor. Hold for about 30 seconds to a minute. I think I did all of these at 45 seconds. So now we're doing a lat stretch. So that's the muscle that kind of goes on your back but also connects into the back of your arm. So put your arms on the wall or a counter or a chair as high up as you're comfortable with, and then lean forward so that your back is flat and you feel that stretch along the arm and into the back. So this is the same stretch, just at a slightly different angle. And now I'm going to demonstrate doing it on a chair. So I've got my wrists on the back of the chair and I'm leaning forward until I feel a stretch. And obviously go to your comfort level. If you don't have my range of motion, that's totally fine. So now we're going to stretch the anterior part of the shoulder. So this gets the biceps and the pecs. So clasp your hands behind your back and then lift them up toward the ceiling. To get a better stretch, make sure that you're puffing your chest out and you have really good posture through this stretch. Okay. And now we're going to do the pendulum stretch. So lean over something, a counter or a chair, and hold on. And then you are letting your arm, especially the affected arm, but again, do both of these on each arm. And you are just rotating around in little circles that can get bigger and bigger. So the weight of your arm creates a little bit of distraction out of your joints, so it's stretching that capsule just a little bit, and then we are encouraging range of motion. And if you've got a very short dog on the floor, you can lean down and pet him. So I'm going back and forth in different directions and varying how big the circle I'm making it with my arm. So again, 45 seconds on. So you can also use a towel to help you. So if you can't reach to help yourself get into the stretch, you can use a towel, especially for this stretch. So if you can't clasp your arms behind your back, you can hold on to a towel and lift up. There's lots of ways to modify stretches. So now we're going to do some strengthening, which is really important because a frozen shoulder is a symptom of the whole system being off. So this is very similar to range of motion, but I just have a band. So I just have these mini bands, but if you have one of the larger bands, you can put it around your foot and then stretch up from there. So I'm holding the band in at my stomach, and then I'm feeling the resistance in the anterior part of my shoulder. So now we're doing posterior. So I'm holding the side of the band at my rib cage, and then I'm lifting back into that posterior range of motion. I think I did 10 reps of each. So start with one. You can even just hold an isometric hold, which means that you hold it at that top of the range of motion and just contract as hard as you can and hold it for a few seconds, and then graduate to the bands if the bands are still too hard. So this is the lateral range of motion. So I'm holding the one part of the band at my hip and then lifting out. Just go to your range of motion. Don't try and push it. So now I'm doing external rotation. So I'm holding the band at my rib cage and I'm opening the door. You can also have this hooked onto a doorknob, but this one I find easy enough to just hold. So I'm hooking this around my patio door to do internal rotation because that one is really hard to hold by yourself. You can also adjust the pressure, as you see that I did, by being closer or farther away from the door that you're tied your band to. Thank you for watching my video on frozen shoulder. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you like this video, please subscribe to get more updates on stretching and pain-free living.